All right, guys, so after your product is created, you have it in hand or you have it in your warehouse for your manufacturer, it is your job to send your units to Amazon so that you can finally get sales and ultimately sell your product. So in this video, we're going to go over the exact steps and exactly how to package your product, how to label it, and essentially how to send it to Amazon so that Amazon, when they get it, they actually know what the product is, they can organize it, and when someone purchases your product online, they can send that unit out to your end customer. Now, when it comes to packaging and sending and labeling your products, there are multiple things that a lot of beginners get confused with, like such as, do you need a UPC? Do you need an FNSKU? How heavy can the box that you send to Amazon actually be? How heavy is too heavy? How many units can you put into one box? Do you need to polybag your units? Do you need to actually have packaging around your units? I'm going to cover all in this video, so make sure to stay tuned. Don't skip any steps, because once again, if Amazon gets your units and it's not labeled correctly and it's not packaged correctly, they're not gonna know what to do with your units. So, you definitely wanna make sure you're not in that specific situation and that you don't skip any of the steps. So let's get right into it. So breaking this down into two easy scenarios, you will have products such as this, where you will have an actual cloth that is exposed, and you will have products such as this, where it is encased and that the actual product that you're selling cannot get damaged or messed up. Now, there's gonna be two different scenarios for packaging. For products that are exposed, that when they get to the Amazon fulfillment center and Amazon can potentially mess them up, these products need to be in additional packaging, whether it is a box, a poly bag, whatever it is. You could have this product turn into this product by simply having a poly bag on the product that actually makes the product not mess upable by the Amazon workers when they get the product. You don't want to be sending units like this, because once again, they will mess your product up. And actually, Amazon says that you need to have your units inside a bag with an FNSKU slapped on the top of the bag. And so when it comes to harder products such as this, or even this is just a simple coffee holder so that you don't burn like your couch or whatever. Even such as this, that's not having an external packaging, you could have an additional package to protect this. But once again, this is hard. This is very hard to mess up. So you could just have the FNSKU slapped directly on this, or you could have, something such as an actual box or whatever it is with the FNSKU, with your product inside of the box and the FNSKU on the outside of the box. And so when it comes to UPCs versus FNSKUs, UPCs allow you to actually electronically online create your product and put it on Amazon into Seller Central so that you have a listing on Amazon.com. Now, when it comes to the actual FNSKU barcodes, this is what goes on your specific product, and the UPC creates your product, the FNSKU goes on your product. So make sure you don't get those two confused. And to access your specific FNSKU, if you go inside Seller Central, after you have created your product using the UPC, you can simply print out your FNSKU and label each of your products, or have your manufacturer label each of your products in his warehouse in China or wherever he's at. He can physically label these products, print out the FNSKUs, and slap it on every single individual product that he's going to put in the big box. Now, once we have our individual products packaged inside boxes and have FNSKU labels on the actual boxes or the packaging that we're putting inside the big box, now this is where we actually package our products up and put them into big boxes such as this that we're going to send to Amazon. And there are two other quick cases where you may have a glass product such as this specific tea cup, or an actual candle like this that has an opening. Now, for this candle right here, you could have this inside a simple box such as this that will fit inside, that makes the candle not having this top part where it's accessible to getting damaged by the actual Amazon workers. And for this specific product, you may want to have this bubble wrapped. I will link down below a specific step-by-step guide by Amazon on how to handle glass products, dangerous products, different products such as, this isn't dangerous, but there's glass products and other specific categories that your products may fall under. But once again, for most products, you want to have it in a packaging where it's not gonna get broken, like a bubble wrap, or something where it's not gonna get messed up. Or if it's a hard product, you could have like this, but you also could package it in a simple, whatever your manufacturer would normally package your products in. And that's another big and simple tip. Just simply ask what your manufacturer normally sends your products in. You can even order the samples. When you have ordered samples, if you're at this stage, you probably ordered, I hope you order samples. If he sends it in a specific package, and that is normally what you want to go with, and you can order the best version of that packaging so that it looks very professional. But once again, you don't have to order a super high packaging, but you just want to make sure that the products are packaged correctly and labeled correctly. And for example's sake, let's say we ordered 500 of these as our first order. They each weigh about half a pound. Now, when it comes to boxing your products, Amazon does not want you to send in anything, it doesn't want you or your manufacturer to send anything in that weighs 50 pounds or more. So it has to be 49 pounds or less for you to send it in. Let's say that each of these weighs half a pound. We can fit, about 100 of these in here. That would be 50 pounds plus the box weight. It's going to go over, and it's probably going to weigh around 51 pounds. So in this case, we probably want to send about 95 in and have that as around 48-ish pounds plus the box. And then that is what you're going to have your manufacturer do. He's going to put 95 of these into 4 boxes, and then he's going to have a leftover of around 20 that's going to go into a smaller box. Now, once again, you want to have these in a box where it's not weighing over 50 pounds, and you want to do the math in your head and do the math on, ask him how many can fit into a box that's going to weigh 50 pounds or less, because once again, if you go over that 50-pound mark with Amazon, they're not going to like it. They're going to give you a strike on your account, which is okay. You get a warning, but you don't want to keep doing this too many times because it could suspend your account or take your product listing down or whatever. Just a very simple thing that you can easily avoid. So make sure that your boxes weigh 50 pounds or less. I like to go no higher than 48 pounds just to be on the safe side, because once again, this can easily be fixed by communication with you and your manufacturer. And now let's pretend that we have all our units in this box. Now this is where we actually went from having our individual units put into a bag, put into an FNSKU label on top of the bag so that it's actually labeled correctly. And now these individual units go inside the box, so that when Amazon gets it, they open the box up, they can take your product out, scan it in, and then organize it correctly. But for this box, how is this even getting to Amazon? We need to label this box correctly. And now this is where, if you have your manufacturer or your supplier in China or wherever he's at, if he's actually shipping and prepping these items for you, this is where you go inside Seller Central and you create an FBA label where he can put onto every box, so that when he ships it to the US, and UPS gets it, or wherever, it's gonna be UPS. When UPS gets it and they can scan it, they're gonna know exactly where it's going to Amazon Fulfillment Center. This is where you go in Seller Central and you create this label. It's a very simple process. I will have a video at the end of this video that's going to show you guys exactly how to do this. But also, if you're having your manufacturer send the units to you, where you check them first and you're in the US and you're doing this is where you also go in Seller Central and you create a UPS barcode and an FBA barcode. Put 2 barcodes on here. And then, so once again, you take it to UPS, or you have them pick it up from your house, and they will basically send it to Amazon, to the fulfillment center. And with that being said, I already have a video on exactly how to do this step by step inside Seller Central, whether you're sending it to your manufacturer or your manufacturer sending it to you, and you're sending units to Amazon. I have both these scenarios right here in this video right here. So make sure you click on this video right here if you're interested in how exactly you create shipping labels and you send them to Amazon.